Here's what Apple doesn't want you to know about their latest tvOS release, and why it might completely transform how we think about living room entertainment. Apple just dropped tvOS 26 Beta 8 into developers' hands. Build identifier 23J5348A. And honestly, the timing feels almost strategic. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just another routine software update that most people will ignore. For those new to Apple's ecosystem, tvOS is essentially the operating system that powers your Apple TV device. Think of it as the brain that controls everything you see and interact with on your television screen through Apple's streaming box. And tvOS 26? It's being positioned as the most ambitious overhaul Apple has attempted for the living room experience in years. What makes this beta release particularly fascinating is Apple's bold decision to completely reimagine the user interface with what they're calling a liquid glass design philosophy. We're talking about a visual transformation that could either revolutionize how families interact with their entertainment systems, or potentially alienate long-time users who've grown comfortable with the current setup. But the interface redesign is just the beginning. Apple has also packed significant improvements into core applications like Apple Music and FaceTime, along with fundamental changes to how users navigate through the entire system. For context, these aren't minor tweaks. They're the kind of substantial modifications that typically signal Apple's long-term vision for where they want the Apple TV platform to evolve. And this is the part most people miss. The 8th beta release suggests Apple is fine-tuning something major. In the development world, reaching beta 8 usually indicates the company is addressing specific feedback from developers and preparing for a broader public rollout. This level of iteration often means they're not just fixing bugs, they're perfecting a user experience they believe will set new industry standards. Here's what developers need to know right now. You can access this latest beta through Apple's official developer portal. The company has made it clear they're actively seeking feedback on these changes, which raises an interesting question about user agency in software design. For those who want to stay informed about any discoveries or changes that emerge from this beta testing phase, following technology news sources and Apple-focused communities will be essential. The development community has a track record of uncovering features and modifications that Apple hasn't officially announced yet. But here's my controversial take. The emphasis on FaceTime improvements and system-wide navigation changes suggests they might be positioning tvOS as a family communication hub. What do you think? Is Apple overcomplicating what should be a simple streaming experience? Or are they correctly anticipating how we'll want to interact with our televisions in the coming years? Are these interface changes genuinely innovative, or just change for the sake of appearing cutting edge? I'd love to hear whether you believe Apple is moving in the right direction with these tvOS modifications, or if they're solving problems that didn't actually exist.